good evening and welcome to ERL Season 7 Round 2 Bahrain Grand Prix. Me and Owen today are here ready for you to commentate with you, and do some stuff with you. As we can see, we are starting with the qualifying here in Bahrain with 13 drivers only, so not that much drivers, but still lots of stuff to happen in this qualifying. But let's take Owen Wirt here with us today. Welcome.
Hello everybody. Sorry I wasn't here last week, but should be here pretty much till the rest of the season. There's nothing really that's going to stop that. So yeah, welcome on. Hope you're all looking forward to the race here. As he says, we're starting qualifying. And this is going to be pretty much a one-shot qualifying. It wouldn't surprise me because basically you're going to want to be on the mediums at the start. I've seen so many league races where people have tried softs and it just does not work. So you're going to expect to see mediums in qualifying. So seeing Salin already an outlap on the mediums, that's quite interesting. He's getting those out early. Would he be maybe trying a different strategy there?
Yeah, I have my own experience trying to start in the softs. I fucked up my own race in my league, so that's not a good strategy. Only two drivers in my league tried to get on the softs, me and one other, and we were at the bottom of the list after the race. So the medium hard is the optimal strategy. If you have to take something else, you're in trouble. So it's a perfect example what you should not do. But here we are in the qualifying. Salahan started or is going to start his lap shortly. Some of the people as well. Brett, Kalkers, Channel, Speed Touch, Lormans, Rafa, Kiski and Wayne are on the track. Lucky 2 medium pilot and Knofor are in the pit lane.
We should probably go actually through the finishing order of the last race because that will obviously be our championship as it stands. And it is Speedster, who is our championship leader in the Alfa Romeo. He's there in 7th place on a night lap. So he won last week from Rafa, who's now got his new username. You can see LRT Rafa in Ferrari. Only Ferrari here today. His teammate missing, unfortunately. Then you've got Louis. He crossed the line first, I believe, last week, but didn't actually win because he had penalties, so he bottled it. I don't think he's here. I don't see him. So that is a bit of a blow to his championship already, rather early on. Zach is in P4 in the championship. Then you've got Marcus in 5th, Wayne 6th, Samu 7th, Janel 8th, Lakitu 9th, Andres 10th in the championship. Trying to see who would have got fastest at that point. I would imagine that would have been Lakitu. So yeah, that's our standings so far. And as you say, there's less people here today, so this is an early chance for the likes of Speedster to get a bit of an advantage in this championship.
Yeah, only 13 drivers, so there's not much drivers today, so there's lots of opportunities to take high points today because there's not much drivers. So turn 1 is not going to be that big mayhem maybe today.
By the way, Zalen is on 0 ERS, so he's not doing his lap yet. He's just sort of going round. But I still find it weird that he's putting laps on those mediums, especially if he does plan on doing his final lap on them. Why would he waste a tyre this early on? Just doesn't seem to make much sense to me, but oh well, we'll see what he does later on. Maybe he's got a hard to medium strategy maybe planned. He may try that. Less drivers, it is possible to try that. You can get into the top 10 with it. And that could actually be some of these people try, because that would mean you're on a faster tyre at the end of the race. If you can keep up at the start, it would pay dividends for you. But Lormans sets the first lap into the 28, so that's pretty good for the hard compound tyre there. And I'm sure he'd be rather happy with that for a banker.
He's actually faster on hards than our league was fastest on the softs, so the pole position, so that's actually very quick.
Kalker's also going very quickly, half a second up on that in the Mercedes. Trying to find out who else is near finishing. Here's Janel in the final corner. Speedster goes fastest. We're getting close to the 27s already on these tyres, and these are the fastest drivers, some of the fastest in the world. If you were on soft, they'd be well into the 26s. I mean, it's crazy how quickly you can go, especially on a very difficult track actually here. The traction's a complete nightmare here sometimes, especially on these hards, so they're really impressive laps here from these guys.
Kornhoff is really taking the limits. He has nearly got the corner and run wide at exit of turn 13, I guess.
He's given up on that, I think. A long while ago. He's not used any ERS until now, so I wonder if he's going to start the lap. Again, yes, he is indeed. So he's crossing the line. I think that'll be a second attempt. You can take as many bankers as you want on this hard. I saw a few people in other races doing 5 or 6 laps just to get used to the tire, because they will be using it later on. And as I say, it is pretty much a one-shot quality, so you might as well get some practice on the hard tire if you can, because you need someone to do in these 18 minutes. Medium pilot's on a lap. He's on a flyer. And we'll see how he gets on. Also on the hard tire. Only one person at the moment with the soft tire fitted, and that is VSR Wayne, who is heading to the pit lane at the moment, I think. Yeah. A medium pilot, he's going to get quite a good slipstream here off Speedster, so this could help him maybe get himself near the top of the standings. He'll also get nice DRS as well. He's going to get a cracking slipstream. He's out of VRS, he's derated to the line, but he still goes fastest into the 27s. Yellow flags out there. I don't know who that's for. I think it's just a car letting someone through there. Zalin now has actually got a time in, by the way, on those mediums, and it's not particularly spectacular. It's 3/10 off the top, and that is all mediums, so I don't think this is going to plan for him, honestly. There's now nobody on softs, so we're all just sort of waiting. Like I say, it's all about the end of qualifying, really, with this. So, patience will be rewarded. Trust me. And in about 10 minutes' time, we'll see everyone thundering around for their proper laps. I wonder if anyone can get into the 26s with soft or with mediums. I mean, if we're into the 27s with hards, it wouldn't be out of the question, to be honest with you. So we'll see how that one works. I don't know if you're still here, by the way, Parky. I don't know if it's me that had issues, but I can't hear you. So I hope there's no issues with that. So the Raf is on a lap. I'm going to watch him going round once again on the hard. He's saving ERS, actually. He was saving some ERS. As you saw, medium pilot, he derated to the line. That cost him a little bit of time, and Raf is trying to prevent that by going into 2 on the ERS mode just for a brief moment, man, going back up on the straight. And that just means he has that lash push to the line. That can lose you at least a tenth of a second if you don't have that push. So it is quite important that you have it. But it looks like he may be low anyway. He's running out a little bit. We'll see if Rab has enough to get to the line in that Ferrari. Looking to put himself
Here he comes.
off the top.
Third fastest. 3/10 off, so both has drivers on the track. And Gideon looked asked that other commentators muted. I was, because my sister was interrupting me, and he's coming back very shortly, so sorry for this one. I don't know what he's doing, or she's doing. Something bullshit, to be honest. Samutopito starting his lap, like it was already on his lap. And Medium Pilot has put it on the soft tires in the pit lane, so maybe just warming up for the race. Or it would be bad strategy to start on the softs if everyone else is starting on the hards or mediums.
Sammy is on mediums, by the way, so he's getting this one potentially out of the way early, as we saw with Zalan earlier. Not getting any sector times though, unfortunately. I want to compare him to Medium Pilot because he will be looking to go top, obviously. 28-0 for Medium Pilot in that first sector, and it's 3/10 slower already for Samu, so he seems to be struggling on those hards. I have that rate not pushing on them, or sorry, it wouldn't surprise me if he's not pushing too much on them, because it does seem rather early to be going for the lap. As I said before, you want to be doing this right at the end of the session. But we'll see how he gets on anyway. Maybe it'll improve throughout the lap. After all, the first sector is basically just some straights. Maybe he had a poor exit or something in the final corner. And it is a relatively decent middle sector, so he should be able to get in that top 5.
Lucky to go 7th, and Samu Pito is next driver to cross the line with the medium tires, so he should go one of the top 5 at least. But let's see where he goes. Does he have enough pace for that?
That's not great. It's only 6 fastest. That's not good. That's really not good on those tires. He could not have been pushing full on that, surely. Surely he's got some more in the tank there.
And here comes Wayne.
Zalin in the pits. Zalin in the pits, by the way, is looking at softs as well. So there's at least 2 people looking at softs. And Medium Pilot is out on track now with those softs. And he's getting ready to start a lap. This might be one worth watching because this could be into the 26s. It should be into the 26s by a long way.
Wayne had invalidated or at least failed lap. He's 3.7 off, so that's not like count lap.
General as well in the pit lane, looking like going on softs. I mean, it's not the end of the session yet. You could do, you know, a lap and then pit at the end of it without actually setting the time. It is not out of the realms of possibility. Or maybe we can go really crazy and say it's going to rain, but that's almost impossible.
That's impossible in Bahrain.
Well, it's not impossible. It's happened before on a Thursday, but it never happens in a.
It has happened once to me in the practice session. Actually, I had it in career mode last game, so in qualifying there was full wets, so that was pretty interesting. But the rain took like 5 minutes, and it was sunny for the rest of the race. So it was a very quick rain, some kind of bug, but at least there was some rain. So
very, very, 4 tenths up by the way in that first sector, just in case you hadn't seen it. And he's not saving. He's not saving the ERS much. He's not giving himself that push towards the line. He might need that, and he's not taking it. I don't know if he's realised it or not, but he needs to save a little bit of it in that middle sector. You don't need all the power there. And while he is up by quite a lot, if others know how to save their ERS, it could give them pull. By the way, Dres is up in P2. I don't know if we'd mentioned that before, but he's only a 10th off Medium Pilot's best time. Although that will become about a second in a minute, as here comes the Mercedes. And pitting, as I thought he might well do, because it doesn't make much sense to do your lap on the softs. I expect Zalin to do that as well, maybe. Although then again, he did do his lap earlier on medium, so this could actually be a proper lap. Well, we'll see what he does anyway.
Even though Medium Pilot had to brake and enable the pit limiter, the lap was still 1 second quicker on the softs. So that's the difference you get when you take the softs after the hards.
So Zalin not massively up in the first sector, not quicker than Medium Pilot yet, so I don't know if he's pushing once again. But we'll have to wait and see, won't we, on that one. But it is a slow burner, this qualifying session. It is all about the end, and, well, there is only 5 minutes to go. It wouldn't be at all surprising to see Zalin peel off into the pits, as well as Kalkers, Wayne, and Kiski's out early. Kiski will be the first one to do the final lap on mediums, possibly looking to do 2. On the last game, doing 2 qualifying laps on what was the soft at the time, which is now the medium, doing 2 laps on that same tyre at the end of quali, turned out to be a brilliant strategy. Don't know if it's the same on this game, but it'll be certainly something that we could look at, because Kiski will almost certainly be trying that, but we'll see. Will Zalin complete the lap then on these softs? He is going to complete the lap. Okay. P1
That's a pole position by only 3 tenths.
Not good enough. He's in trouble. He's in
He's
real
in
trouble.
big trouble. I would take P7, either of P1, but being on the good strategy. So
yeah, he needs to really hope he falls inside that top 10, and he definitely will.
He needs some
surely will. He actually does need to be starting 11th in this one, and the man who is 11th is Lormans. He has to find a second, but did his first lap on hards. This will be a soft, medium lap. You could do that. You could make the second. I think Zalin is probably going to be hoping he does, because I don't know why he did that, honestly. But let's watch Kiski, because he is doing this 2 lap thing. He's doing a second out lap, as you can see. He's down in that first sector. He's just preparing himself. Could this be the strategy which puts him on pole position? We haven't seen anyone try that, going out as early as him, although it isn't at all out of the realms of possibility for others to do it. But certainly keep an eye on this guy in P12, because he will be doing a second lap for his push lap, so interesting. Speedster starts his flying lap. Is this going to be the pole position time? He's got 3 minutes, so a mistake isn't the end of the world. if he has enough fuel to do a second lap, but hopefully he doesn't make any mistakes. Not the best first sector in the world, about on the par with medium pilots on the hards. So maybe a little mistake in there up the hill, maybe a lack of traction, as I say, it is a bit of a nightmare on this track sometimes.
Yeah, it
Into the
can be.
fierce of turn 10. All good there. Saving the ARS a little bit more, although I feel he wasn't using it. I wonder, look how much he's got left. I don't know if he was saving some of it, but I wonder if he's also doing a two strategy. And it's just popping up telling me it's a night lap now. Took me a while to...
There's no chance that he has that much energy left in the battery at his point of the lap. He
Yeah.
must have done the first corners with non-ERS. There's no other reason to explain that.
Well, the game told me it wasn't a night lap, and then just popped up halfway through the lap that it was a night lap. So that might be my bad there. Sorry, I hadn't.
He took
seen
off
that
throttle
pop up.
very early in the last corner. Actually, now
Yeah.
he's none. So
Oh well, he goes again, I guess.
no, non-ERS. Or he's saving battery this lap, and he's going with the on the last second back into the track. So
Yeah, he's
that's
doing
another opportunity.
his Kiski then.
Everyone is on mediums at the moment, so everyone is going to be improving apart from Salan, who has already done his lap on softs and he has no time to go out again, so he could just retire from the session and spectate with us.
Here's Kiski to the line on that 2-lap strategy. P3, not too bad then. That's a good lap to start with. We'll see more improvements as we head on though. Rafa's on a lap, Lucky 2's on a lap, but I think Rafa's probably closer to the line, so we'll follow him round. He is currently on for pole. He's fast enough to beat the soft tyres of Salon by not much at the minute, but if he just keeps the lap together in the final sector, he should get there. Into the final 2 corners he comes. That last little kink is actually a corner. That came as a surprise to me as well, but to the line. Does he go fastest? Yes, he does. By a country mile.
By a distance.
And Zalen's not going to be very happy looking at that, I don't think.
With hards or mediums, the gap would be 1 second. So
Exactly, yeah. He tried it, didn't work out. Here comes Kalkers though to the line. What about his lap? P2. Medium pilot just starts his lap. Remember, he was fastest on the hards, so look out for him. He could be the guy to steal pole.
Lucky 2 goes third.
Third, yeah, for him. Zalen does indeed start to fall down. Now, Kornov looking like he's going to go faster. He is 4 seconds off pole, however, so he does need to make some improvements.
Medium pilot is 3/10 down Rafa's time in sector 1.
Right, that could be it over for him then. Janel P5 has retired, and Kornov, he was well, he had to find another 2 seconds in the final sector, and he hasn't quite done that. He is last on the grid then, 1.6 seconds off pole. Samu looking to make a 4/10 improvement at the moment as Wayne goes P5. Zalen's out there on another lap. He is up by nearly 2/10. He does, I guess at this point, he sort of has to go on pole, doesn't he? He has to try something here, doesn't he? He's in the walls, surely. Oh, just about misses the wall. But yeah, that sums his qualifying right up there. He was on for it, medium pilot. He's going to take this, I think, if he hides another half tenth. But he's down on it. He's derating again. Will that cost him?
Yeah, that cost. It was invalidated lap. It was invalidated lap. Here comes Lucky 2. That's unfortunate for medium pilot.
He's down, but Speedster's up just ahead in the Alfa Romeo. P3. Lucky 2.
Lucky 2 P5.
And that is qualifying, and that is it over. Rafa on pole. The man who's second in the championship. 2 spots ahead of the man who's first in the championship. On the grid.
And that's the end of the qualifying here in Bahrain. So let's have a look of the grid in the final version. Rafa takes the pole position. Sorry. Kalkers goes second, Speed as third, Dretz fourth, Lucky to fifth, Blas and Hund on soft 6th place. That's not a good strategy. Wayne 7th, Channel 8th, Medium Pilot unfortunately 9th on the hard toe. Kiski 10th, Samu Pito, Lormans and Korshov will get a free tire strategy. It's time to begin the Bahrain Grand Prix here in Bahrain International Circuit. So here we are on the formation lap and ready to begin the Bahrain Grand Prix. As we saw from the action zones, Sector 1, that's the place we are really going to see the overtakes tonight. Sector 2 and 3, they are like impossible to overtake. Of course, this little straight gives the chance, but then the other Sector 2 and 3 is just impossible to overtake. It's not just like... It's like Monaco Park, and then comes the whole track.
Just need to look at the strategies here, by the way. I'm just looking at it. Only one person inside the top 10 has decided to go on the hards. Look, that is Kornhoff. And what that does, as I was saying while the graphics were on, that safety cars seem to come out quite often on this track. And if you're on mediums, and I have seen it happen a few times in league races this week, if you just stick out on them long enough, safety cars do just seem to come at the right time. And if you're on hards, it sort of puts you in a bit of a bad spot. I wonder if that could play a factor, because genuinely safety cars do seem to happen quite a lot, and it does affect the strategy a bit if it comes out at the right time.
Salan will be strong if the safety car comes out.
Parking up on pole and looking to win this one. And Kornhoff and Lorman's parking it up at the back of the grid. And we get some lights.
2, 3, 4, and 5. The red lights are in for the Bahrain Grand Prix, and away we go here. Rafa takes pretty good start, and he's leading going to the turn 1 actually. Fritz is trying to overtake. Kalkers in the start. Speed touch actually around the outside goes. And Fritz goes 3rd place. That might be an illegal overtake. No, it's not. Rafa has already taken a 1 second lead there at the front of the back. So... Oh, there's one guy off. It's Plisenhan on the soft tires, so his race is ruined right away. And rip his strategy here.
Actually, it does just seem this track's not great for traction, and we've got lots of moves going on here. We've got Lorman's on Kiski, we've got Sammy on medium pilot. Medium pilot needs to get moving in this Janel and Lakitu, and that could have been a big accident there. Luckily, they will spawn off wide rather than into the corner, which is often can happen there. And look at Calkers and Speedster, they're going for it. And Speedster's just backing off there before it gets too hairy. But a good start from Calkers to defend that P2 because he was under massive pressure and so very nearly was actually spun off. But luckily he kept it all going well. And P2, but perfect start for Rafa. No pressure whatsoever. He got off the line beautifully. And he is leading this one at the end of lap 1. And Zalin will have to pit. I don't think Jano or Lakita will have to pit. They were just damaged a bit, and they are on the back of the train. So that mistake didn't cost them too badly. But look at this. We've got a massive train here. Medium pilot up to P6 on that start. Perfect for him. He's got many cars behind him trying to find their way through. Same really with Calkers. The two Mercedes are heading two separate trains here. And it'll be interesting to see how they get their way out of this one when DRS gets enabled on the next lap.
Best start was for the ERL Lormans. He gets up by 5 positions in the start. So that was the best start of the grid. And the worst one was for Persan dropping down 7 places.
Ooh, Kiski and, sorry to interrupt there, but Kiski and Samu have just hit each other. And they're going side by side. Samu just ahead, but Kiski did have that place for a brief moment and they collided. And it was so nearly a spin there for the Racing Point car, but luckily they keep it going. Oh, they've contacted.
There comes the damage.
Done it again. Front wing broken there on the front right end fence, which is now missing on the Racing Point. That was a bit clumsy there. I wonder if he was a bit flustered after being tapped at the start of the middle sector, but he will almost certainly have to take a visit to the pit lane. He could possibly try and take cars.
Blasan is out in the same corner as he was on lap 1.
Yeah,
on
Salin. Oh, that's 2 Racing Points off the track, or was it? Or just Kornoff? They're both damaged. They're both damaged now. So I wonder if Kornoff's hit his teammates. Both Racing Points having to possibly pit at the end of this lap. And what the issue there for Kornoff is he's got to back right off to make sure he doesn't get held longer than he should do. Because they will be stacking. So both Racing Points doing a 2017 style collision by the looks of it. And into the pits they come.
Kornoff and Blasan as required at the same time.
So Kiski is now last in this race. Front wing coming off the car, and it'll be another set of mediums, so it'll probably go to hards at the end. And we've lost 2 cars from this race, and pretty much a third as well, unless we get a safety car, which is very possible around this track. So don't count him just out of the running yet. But as Kiski, clumsy mistake, down at the back.
How are you expecting to win the race today? Is it Rafa, Calkers, Speed Dash, Wayne or Medium Pilot? I'm expecting Rafa to take the win today. He's leading so securely.
I'm still thinking Medium Pilot. I think he's going to be an absolute rocket on the end on these mediums. Especially if he can keep making positions up the way he has. He's right on the back of this DRS train, which is now enabled. His teammate of all people is the person leading this train. And he's only, what, 2-3 seconds away? He can still see him, and when moves start to happen in this train, and they will eventually, Medium Pilot, I can see him certainly making his way through here. So I'm going to back him for this one today, I think.
Calkers is only 2 seconds
early on. And he sets the fastest lap as well on those tires, so he's really flying now. Looks like Speeds is trying to psych Calkers out a little bit, just showing he's there. Remember, we have 3 DRS zones on this track rather than the 2 that we had last year. This is the second and the brand new DRS zone up to turn 4. Speeds are taking the nice wide line to get a better slingshot exit, but there's nowhere to really get through here. And it's all about patience. You don't need to go for this move when it's actually available for you. Don't go with any dive bombs like Kiski did, because it does not end well for you. And do you know what? Calkers is keeping the gap well to Rafa. He could start to close that down at some point. I don't want to get too optimistic. We could be looking at a 6-5 fight for the lead pretty soon.
Calkers is a bit in a trouble because he has no DRS yet. But if he gets within 1 second of Rafa, then it's going to be another train of top 6 drivers. So,
well, he is getting there. Look, he is closing this gap now. This is pretty impressive from Calkers, and Rafa, well, not particularly phased, I wouldn't imagine, by this. He's not using as much ERS as he could. He's got more than Calkers, and there's no DRS just yet. But what he's doing here is he's letting Calkers catch him. What that's inadvertently doing is meaning the whole top 6, as you say, will be in this fight for the lead. And I'm sure Rafa probably wasn't hoping for that. But look at that. Speedster once again showing he's there. Maybe preparing for a dive on at some point as the Keto overtaking his teammate into turn 1. Luckily, the Haas's don't collide.
Like Force India's. Pretty surely did.
They must have done. I don't see any reason for why Kornoff had a broken front wing as well. I don't know what he would have hit. It was the left hand side as well. You know, I could have understood if he spun in turn 12, but he couldn't have. So it must have been a collision.
Calkers is very close to the 1 second limit, but he's not yet in. So, and there's yellow flag in sector 2. Where is it? Or where it was?
Jano's off in the wall. He's front wing. I think his front wing's broke. Or no, someone else is near him. There was certainly some debris there. It's the Haas of Samu. His front wing's broken. Well, we said the two Haas's hadn't collided. Maybe it was Jano that we went into him at some point. She was no replay system that we could check this on, but certainly Jano was off the track and Sammy was under pressure and being passed by the Kichi again. Oh, that's going to be a fatality, and I've caught that one on board.
I did
Nice
not. I just switched off when the car crash happened, so I didn't see that.
Yeah, fully deliberate. And
But
Jano,
I could make a replay system if I see the thing and then press the button. Then we could have a replay.
oh, we got some fights here. We've got Speedster and Drez and maybe even Wayne starting to get interested in each other into turn 1. 3-way fight here for P3 and the race. Certainly looks like Calkers has found his pace now, hasn't he? Starting to pull away from these guys due to the fighting and catching the leader by a little bit. Outside line to turn 4 is the preferred way to overtake, in my personal opinion, because it gives you a better exit. But, well, they're all certainly very close. But the four of them staying in the same positions that they started in, by the looks of it. So they're starting to get a bit interested, though. As I say, Spacer was certainly looking at trying to make a move on Calkers, but that doesn't look too likely now, does it?
I don't know. Maybe. Calkers has now the gap between Rafa and Calkers is 1.5, and Calkers and Speedstars the gap is 1.5. So it's like waiting game now. But of course, here's the little battle between Speedstars and Dredge. Dredge around the outside.
What does Wayne do here? I mean, he could so easily get involved here, but he's deciding not to. But that is possibly dangerous because he's got medium pilot there too. Who's got the most ERS? They've all got pretty much full ERS to use here, so they're going to absolutely go full pelt for this.
Medium pilot
into
and
the
Wayne,
final
same amount.
corner. No point moving into the final corner. It just ruins everything. There's no point going for it. You have 2 DRS straights coming up. Wait until then. It's a smarter thing to do. Who makes the moves? Spacer is ahead of Drez, Wayne, and medium pilot, and the Alfa Romeo. Spacer defending hard into the inside of turn 1, trying to force Drez a little bit wider and trying to psych him out of going for the move. But he's still going to try it.
There goes Dredge. Oh. Better luck next lap. There's not that much overtaking opportunities after the turn 5. So.
Oh, he's already hit him now. Be careful you don't crash into him because your front wing broken, and that would be kind of awkward. That would ruin the battle as well. They just need to keep it calm because the overtake will happen eventually. He needs to maybe try and surprise Speedster's drivers. I don't really know, but I don't know. Medium pilot, I'm surprised he hasn't started to move on these guys yet because he knows every position he gets now is just a position he won't have to worry about later on. Because I'm sure he's looking at Ralph and thinking, I can get him on this strategy.
Gap to Rafa, gap between Rafa and medium pilot is now 4.6. So it's not that dramatic yet. Taking a look that medium pilot is going to take the mediums at the end. So he should be faster. But if the gap increases even more, he's in trouble.
Remember that medium pilot set at 26.8 in qualifying on mediums. It was invalidated, but I'm sure he was probably doing that on purpose. He's got pace on these tires. Oh, that's a big dive from Wayne. Luckily, not making any contact, but surely Medium Pilot's going to have a better exit. And up the hill, may have a go. And both Alfa Romeos could find themselves getting passed by a Renault and a Mercedes, respectively. Looking at Drez, maybe not going to make the move, but Medium Pilot on the outside. Does he get this one done into turn 4? He does. And on the exit, he covers that one off. P5 after Wayne got it all run under the brake into turn 1. And that is another position gained for the Mercedes on the alternate strategy.
Yeah, now he he has to pass Dretz and Speed Dash and then full throttle push to Kalkers and Rafa, and he might win the race.
Wayne's been a little sick there. He's lost the back end again. He's really struggling with the car now. Too early for a pit stop, I would have thought. Maybe another couple of laps and then it would be acceptable. I'd say sort of lap 11 to 15 is sort of the window, but we'll see. Maybe he can make it work. But if he's already struggling on these, the same will happen on hard, so he just has to keep it out there for a while.
Lap 12 is
probably
the
shouldn't be caught by Lormans. It's 3.2. Medium Pilot looking more likely to pass Drez, and Drez is likely to pass Speedster, to be honest here, and the grip will certainly be more in favour of the hard tyres now, as Medium Pilot on the back of Drez looking to make this move work. Look at the slipstream, look at the overspeed, and into turn 1 the Mercedes driver decides not to go for it. He's going to wait until his turn 4 opportunity, maybe. I wonder if he should have went for that actually at turn 1, because he hasn't got the better exit. It's good being patient and all, but it could cost you later on. He doesn't get the move done. Yeah, I think he should have just went for it. The gap was there. Oh, Lakiti and Lormans fighting away. Up into P7 goes the Haas.
There was a question in the comments that would Womble be fast enough for ERL F1 Parky? I don't even know who is asking that, so maybe someone from my league. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, there's a crash behind. It's Lormans and Lakitu who have touched.
It keeps happening into this corner, doesn't it? The front right end plate's gone. There's also a front wing floating in the air, if you noticed, on the barrier on the exit of that corner. So
yeah, I don't understand how is like it's the corner, the hardest corner on the track, but how is that the most with the most highest percentage of crashes? Like no one should even try an overtake there, and it still keeps happening. That's the place where you just don't do the overtake.
Kalker's pitting. And look at the run that Drez has got, and look at the run that Medium Pilot's got. And none of them going for the moves again. It just seems so difficult. For such a long straight, you'd think, easy move, but it just doesn't seem to be happening. Lormans gets a 5-second time penalty, and he's probably going to retire. Has indeed retired and given up. Drez, oh, he thought about it, because it must be said, Speedster was a bit out of shape into the corner, but once again, these guys stay in formation. Kalkers, though, is out of the pits onto the hard compound tyres, trying to undercut our race leader. Maybe a bit optimistic, but you just never know. He'll be on better tyres when Rafa comes out. He'll have to take a while to heat those tyres up, the Ferrari driver. It could be closer than you may think in a minute, but we'll wait and see. Still got Medium Pilot trying to get by this Renault. Will he finally do it into turn 11? He should do. Should have this done rather easily now. He's got it into the corner. Drez shouldn't really fight this on the outside of turn 12, or else this will cause an airplane crash. And into the podium positions now is Medium Pilot. Remember, he will lead this race at least for a while. So he's making the moves early, as I said, so he doesn't have to make them later on. This is looking really good for him, I think. He's still only 3.7 seconds off our race leader, who is into the pits to cover that undercut. Thing is, though, Kalkers has had a free track the whole lap.
And Speed as well.
I know. He said the whole lap, though, Kalkers to himself. He may have a chance of jumping Rafa here. He was not a million miles away from the Ferrari. And are we about to see Kalkers on the undercut take the lead of this race? Or at least a provisional lead, because we don't know what Medium Pilot is going to do. Here comes Rafa out of the pit lane.
Rafa was held back into pits. He has to wait for Speed Dash.
By a long way. And that's the undercut for you. That is the power of the undercut. Calkers takes the provisional lead of this race from Rafa
Medium
by over a
Pilot
second.
should now take the hammer time and push, because Rafa and Calker should be faster, maybe, with the new fresh hearts. So Medium Pilot should now push hard and try to maximize the gap to the Calkers. Here the pit lane takes about 22 seconds if you don't get held up, like Rafa did. Rafa was 3 or 4 seconds held up there, so that's why the undercut worked for Calkers. But Medium Pilot should take at least 25-second gap now to lead the race for sure once he leaves the pits.
I don't honestly think he'll need to worry about the gap. I think he's got this in the bag, honestly. If he just has the tyres, he will have the tyres at the end. It's almost a certainty, I think, that he's going to win this one. But we'll wait and see. It's a long race still, but look at that. He's setting the fastest laps. He has got hammer time on.
He got the hammer time on.
And Calkers, to be fair, is probably doing his own version of hammer time. It must be the Mercedes party mode, getting to work. And they will be 1-2. Is that the way that they're going to finish Mercedes 1-2? I'm sure they weren't expecting that one going into today. But it looking pretty likely at the minute, as he's actually pulling away Medium Pilot. It's incredible. And you know what? The ideal situation now for Medium Pilot is for Rafa to catch Calkers and for those two to start fighting, because it'll just make his life all the easier when he comes out of the pits in about 6 or 7 laps time.
Yeah, Medium Pilot just have to get 5 more seconds and he will be leading this race after the stop. So
Rafa in DRS, so he's catching really quickly.
Yeah,
really quickly.
2 or 3 laps. If this fight keeps going, Medium will surely win the race without any mistakes. So Keys the only driver on the mediums, though they are 9 laps old mediums, so they won't go till the end. So only drivers to pit today remain are Medium Pilot and Kiski. So
we can call damage here. He's been in the pits. He's trying to 2-stop. Remember, I wonder if he's going to try a different tire at the end. I just wonder why he went into mediums early. He should have went into hards and then back to mediums maybe. But you remember he broke his front line earlier, then hit his teammates by the signs of it. But look at this. We have got Rafa versus Calkers. Calkers once again being the guy with no DRS ahead. So he's having to fight this one on his own. They're pretty much identical on the ERS, these two. So it's going to be a straight mono on mono. As Jan gets a penalty. No ERS usage from Rafa. He doesn't need it. He's got the slipstream and into turn 1. He's got to go for it. He broke really late. I wonder if he did that by accident. I don't think he just wanted to do that. I think he only wanted to show himself. And it nearly caused a little bit of an accident there. But can you just imagine the time this is scaly Medium Pilot as they go side by side into turn 4. The longer Calker stays ahead, I think, the further away Medium Pilot's going to be. But it's not going to be for very long as Rafa tries it. He has to get him eventually, right? It's going to be very soon. He cannot get held up here. He's lost a second on this lap already to Medium Pilot, just being stuck behind. And Calker just doing his teammate a brilliant service right now. But is this costing himself the win as well, this fighting? Because Medium Pilot now 21.2 seconds away.
Of course, if you are quicker, you just can't stick behind the slower driver. You just have to try to get past. And that's the issue. Rafa is quicker than Calkers, but he's stuck behind Calkers, so...
Yeah, but you know what else? If they keep fighting like they were on that lap, Speedster and Drez, they're also fighting. They may even catch. We could be finding ourselves another 4-car fight. A Medium Pilot just, wow, setting another fastest lap. I mean, he is doing everything he's needed to do right now. He's absolutely ripping this racetrack apart. Absolutely extraordinary drive so far. And he's surely going to be in the lead of this race eventually, because these two are still fighting. Calkers versus Rafa across the line.
That's
surely he's got it. He has to have it now. Does Calkers have to fight back? He didn't use any ERS there, nor did Rafa. Better exit for Calkers here, and I think we're in for round 2 here, but these guys are round 3 at this now, actually. And Rafa defends hard to the inside line, using his ERS though, so Calkers maybe going to wait behind a bit. 21.5 seconds to gap. Drez as well had a look down, Speedster, but no overtake there. We're not at the halfway stage of this race, by the way, yet we're still yet to see how this all finishes. It's going to be a very interesting race, so do stay tuned if you're watching, because we're in for a very fascinating end to the race. I mean, it's already been pretty entertaining so far, and, well, we don't know what penalties they'll do. Last race, penalties did decide the race in the end, so that could happen. So look out for those. But there's Speedster, by the way, surely going to be overtaken by Drez now. He's trying the whole race, and on the inside, into turn 11, he just says, "You're not defending this one anymore. I'm getting past you," and he does get past. Finally, into P4 goes Drez.
Yeah, now
And look at this. Look who's been saving. Look who's been saving that ARS. Look who's been he's been preparing for this. Calcutta is getting ready to attack Rafa. He's gonna have more ARS to do it with. Is Rafa a sitting duck on this straight? You've got to say he might well end up being a sitting duck eventually. Although the gap is growing quickly. Fastest lap for the Ferrari, but look at the overspeed. Calcutta's catching very quickly here, and after turn 4, he could well be a good match here for the straight line speed of that Ferrari. Just about 29% ERS for Rafa, 52 for Calcutta. He may not pass in this lap, but if he keeps saving the ERS, he could find himself passed very soon indeed. And the gap is finally starting to close at the top. Too early still for Medium Pilot to pit though. About another 3 or 4 laps, and then he can pit and go to the end on the mediums.
If Medium Pilot could stick out on the track for 7 more laps and still be quicker than Rafa, he has an opportunity to take the soft tires on at the end of the race, but I don't think that's the plan.
It would surprise me if that's the plan, but do you remember he did a lap on softs? He did a bandit, so he was trying them out. I wonder if he does fancy doing that, because he has tried the tyre already. Maybe he liked it, maybe he thinks he can take them to the end. We'll wait and see what he decides to do. But certainly at the pace he's going in a minute, I can imagine he can keep this. Maybe he could keep it for another 7 laps. Let's wait and see what he does.
It's completely depending on the tyre wear on these current hard tires.
Right on him now. If he just gets his braking right here, he should have a real chance on the exit, and that is decent enough. They're both having to use high ERS modes, but Calcutta is going to have more to use. And down towards turn 1, fastest lap for him. And surely the move for P2. He doesn't go for it. Well, I wonder why he's done that. Can he get the run to turn 4? He couldn't get the run last time. He's not using his ERS enough. And he's cost himself the chance of going for P2 there. I wonder what took him so long. Why did he not just go for it?
I don't know. That was
maybe a weird
one of the dumbest plays in this race so far, but hopefully patience is paying at the end. So because
their patience is costing the win, I think. Speedster, oh, that's a nice move on the inside there.
Was that a little switcheroo?
That'll really anger Drez, I think. He's been trying so long to get past. He got past, and it only took him a couple laps to get repassed.
Drez has the DRS.
Just the way these go. Oh, the Speedster will expect it this time. He does indeed expect it. Does Drez go for the slingshot exit? He can't. Oh dear. That'll be frustrating for him. And Rafa, bit of a lock up there, but Calcos went a bit early to the corner. Medium pilot. So he's going for the mediums now, while his teammate is fighting Rafa. Let's see how far behind. He should come out in 3rd, ahead of Speedster, and then it's all about catching up. And we could be in for a 3-way pit with his lead.
Medium pilot is disabling the pit limiter now. Here comes Rafa. That's an easy overtake.
Ahead of Speedster by a long way. So here we go then. This is the fight we've been waiting for. Medium pilot versus Calcus versus Rafa. And Medium pilot is on 7 lap better tires than his teammate, 6 lap better tires than Rafa. And crucially, he's on a faster compound. Game on.
That's
and look at it. Look at this. Wayne, Drez, and Speedster all up with each other as well. We've got 2 great fights here.
Today, the victory is going to be decided by penalties or by on-track driving. Hopefully by on-track driving. Because medium should be 1 second faster on these tires than the guys in front. At least these first 2 or 3 laps. So that 1 second gap to the lead should be taken away within 1 lap.
Remember as well here that they're also going for fastest lap points. I imagine medium pilot should get that. So he's here not just to win, but to get fastest lap points. That'll be 26 points already in this race, and that'd be massive. And well, that'd be a good way to show his intent for this World Championship. Could he end up being the man to take it? Let's see who's fighting for the lead though first, because medium pilot isn't quite on the back, and Calkers, knowing his teammate is on his back, may be a bit more motivated to try and make this overtake for the lead now. Round the final corner, onto the DRS, and starting lap 18. And the top three are separated by just over a second, now just under a second, as Calkers fancies it, doesn't go for it again. Medium pilot right on the back now. And what about turn 4 as Calkers has a slide in turn 3? Will it be medium pilot getting by his Mercedes teammate? I think he's going to be a bit patient on this one as Wayne and Drez fight this one out into turn 4. On the outside is the Alfa Romeo. Does he get this done? Nicely done. Does he have the exit? Oh, this could be awkward. This could be really awkward. Nope. Side by side, Wayne has the position and Drez concedes to his second Alfa Romeo in just a couple of laps. But look at this, medium pilot right on Calkers. Does he go for it? He has to be patient. He has to be patient. Just as we were saying with Calkers and Rafa, being patient. But here, medium pilot seriously does. Go for it when it's safe. It is safe. On the inside, P2's his. Surely his teammate can't fight this one too hard. There's no point fighting it. And P2. And still in the DRS of Rafa. It's medium pilot. And he's about to go from 9th to 1st, I think. It's all about whether his tires survive at the end, though, of course. The hard tires have got a very long life indeed. Mediums start to fall apart, as we saw with Wayne earlier.
There's one little issue with the top 3. If they make even a single, like a big or even a medium mistake, or take each other out, Speedtash is going to use his chance to maybe win a race. He's only 4 seconds behind Rafa. So, one big crash with these 3 drivers, and Speedtash is going to tank those guys and take the victory, if the crash is even a bit more big. So,
these guys are some of the best drivers on the game now. They know what they're doing. They shouldn't be hitting each other. I don't think we're going to have to worry about that today. I think they're just going to have a straight up fight for this.
But if that happens, Speedtash has a chance to take the victory today. If all those 3 drivers, Rafa, Medium and Calkers, go away. So, but these drivers, Calkers for example, needs to be so unlucky to collide with Medium Pilot if Medium Pilot hits Rafa. So, hopefully we don't see that, but that would add some little drama into the race.
Medium Pilot isn't quite close enough to Rafa this time, up to turn 11, where he got his teammate on the last lap, but I mean, he's just cruising up to him. The move is inevitable. It's just about where he goes for it. He doesn't really want to go for it into this final corner, because then he doesn't really get the advantage of the DRS. But we'll see what he does. I imagine he's going to just hang back here and go for it into turn 1. He shouldn't even need to go for it into turn 1. He should be ahead before turn 1. With the exit on the extra grippy medium tires. And here he comes. Medium Pilot from P9 on the grid on the ultimate strategy is about to pass Rafa for the lead, unless the Ferrari becomes the widest car you've ever seen. As Medium Pilot on the outside tries to get the overtake done. The traction should give him the better exit here and into turn 3. They so nearly collide. Look out for Calkers as well getting involved with this. He's taking him DRS, so he's got a real chance. Medium Pilot does not get the move done. Really well defended there from Rafa, who made his car as wide as humanly possible. Perfectly defended. Can he though do that for the next 10 laps? Well, we'll wait and see.
He should go past like a flying. If Medium Pilot doesn't win this race and he sticks behind Rafa, I don't even know what to say at that point, because the medium tire is like 8/10 faster than the hards. So
yeah, the more laps though the medium pilot stays behind, the more warning they're going to get. They wear miles quicker, remember, and they'll lose pace at it. Those hard tires, you could set a fastest lap on the final lap with them. They just don't lose pace, and that could be medium pilot's Achilles heel. Just the lack of pace at the end. This could become a hard tire by the end, but considerably more worn. So, if Rafa can keep defending for another few laps, it could come his way. But surely Medium Pilot will. He has to get him right. He's catching much earlier on the straight, but I think he's nearly out of ERS. He is nearly. They're both nearly out of it. Calkers has got the most out of the three. Oh, well, this could be very interesting. Medium Pilot to the outside, and Calkers is right on them. Oh, they nearly hit. I think they may have had a bit of a tap there, but no damage done. Medium Pilot now, just Rafa on the inside, doing everything he needs to do. Medium Pilot is not using his DRS. I think he may have an issue with that.
Or
It's
he's
not
just
happening.
forgot to enable it. Or he doesn't want to enable it. So there's lots of opportunities.
This is not working. This is not. Calkers is going to win this race at this rate because he's just saving his ERS massively. He's got this sealed. He's over 50%. He could absolutely steal this from under these two's noses. Here's Medium Pilot again. Not going to get it on the DRS, I don't think. It just doesn't work into turn 11 when you're this far back unless you've got a considerable pace advantage, but he just doesn't have it in the straight line. Oh, I think Calkers could have this, you know. I really think he could because look at these top two. They are going to be out of ERS. They cannot use ERS in this back straight. Surely they can't use that much. Calkers is going to be right on them. Oh my god.
Calkers could enable overtake here and to the main straight as well. So
exactly. Medium Pilot has a look really well through the final couple of corners. He's had a bit of a slidey exit. I'm going to ride on board with Calkers here. I want to see what these guys are going to do because we've seen for the third lap in a row, Rafa defends to the inside.
there goes.
Medium Pilot to the outside as he's done before. Calkers using no ERS by the way. And Rafa, oh, he's got him. He has to have him now. Surely Rafa can't defend it much more as Medium Pilot goes right around the outside. But Rafa's got much more straight line speed. But he's out of ERS. He's out of ERS. He's done. Surely that's the lead now for Medium Pilot because there's going to be no exit speed for Rafa there. And the Mercedes driver finally takes the lead. It took him a few laps to get there. It's all about whether he's going to keep his teammate and Rafa behind now because he is so low on ERS. And Calkers is still really looking quite good.
Calkers is
Look at the
70% of ERS. Medium and Rafa none. So
surely he's got to have this place. Surely.
oh,
He's
medium
still
is non-ERS. Rafa has 20 and Calkers has 75. So
There's still 7 laps to go here. We don't know what we're going to see next. Do
Well.
not go away, folks. This is not over. This is far from over. It could well still turn in Calkers' favour if Medium Pilot's tyres start to die. Because if they die, you know, in the next 5 laps, which is very possible, Calkers, if he keeps saving the ERS like he is right now, he could look so good for this win. But
oh, look at
Rafa
the ERS of these two drivers. Both are out. Calkers is coming with the full power of the ERS advantage, but still, not enough.
He turned it down towards turn 1. He's just pacing himself. Surely he's just pacing himself. Rafa can hold on with DRS to Medium Pilot. So Calkers does not have to worry about using his ERS too much. He's just going to let those two reel him in so that he can then just, well, just nick the positions off them. He has set his fastest first sector of the race, Calkers, and he still has way more ERS than the rest of these two. Yet he's playing beautifully into his hands, and surely it's only a matter of time before he takes this lead again. In my opinion, anyway, we'll wait and see. But Rafa's doing really well, by the way, to hang on to Medium Pilot. Of course, we're seeing the Calkers had this issue for so long in the race where he never had DRS and couldn't pull away. And that's exactly what we're seeing with Medium Pilot.
That's Janel.
And that's Janel making his score for 5th mistake of the day. He's really not having a good day around this track. He did tell me that he was going to hit the walls quite a few times today, and unfortunately he has been off. But luckily he hasn't found a wall yet, I don't think. But this top 3 is starting to get a bit separated. And ERS is still low. ERS is still super low for Medium Pilot. Rafa's had he's got enough to go for it on the main straight. And Medium Pilot is going to hit 0, so close to 0 anyway. This will not give him any extra power. Oh wow, Rafa's got about 10 miles an hour on him on the main straight and nearly into turn 1 in a position to pass him. Calkers not using the ERS still. He's starting to fall back now. He has to make sure he can keep on because he's going to be out of DRS soon. Lakichi in the pits, he's going to go for the fastest lap point, I would assume. If he can get it, that is. I mean, medium pilot's fastest lap is pretty impressive. He's in the 29s of it, and Rafa sets his fastest first sector of the race. 6 laps to go. And this is going to be an interesting finish, I think. Calcus has to get a move on, though. He's almost out of DRS. And he's out of it.
He's out of the DRS usage. So
yeah, it's not going to plan now. He's sort of realised now. He's using his ear. Yeah, but well, that's not really what he was planning, I don't think. There, he's sort of got that a bit wrong. He's used it too late.
And now he started to burn the ERS when he should have burned the ERS 2 laps ago.
It's too late.
Way too late.
Because he won't get the DRS to tow him along now. So any advantage he would have got from saving is sort of gone. He's almost onto the same level now as Rafa and medium pilot. So he's wasted his opportunity there big time. Rafa, however, still within half a second and fastest lap to him.
Fastest lap in a row. First medium and then Rafa takes right away.
Look how late Rafa can break into turn 1. Did you see that? That's right on board with Rafa into turn 1 on the next lap if he isn't going for the move, because he can just brave. He could breathe it out for so long. That's probably how he could defend from medium pilot for so long, because he just broke so late. If medium pilot didn't have those new tires, I mean, Rafa would be stonking away. He'd be absolutely miles clear as Calcus falls to nearly 2 seconds back. I don't know why he didn't use his ERS properly there, but oh well. He'll learn from it, I'm sure.
From top 3, medium pilot is only driver without even a warning. Rafa and Calcus both have 1 warning. So penalties are not going to affect the race results today, at least for the top 3. So, well, this is going to be interesting until the end.
Well, it's just about seeing, I think, if medium pilot's tires can survive this last 4 laps. It's debatable. I don't know. We're going to have to see him do, I mean, I've got 13 laps in these tires. That's a huge ask. That's a really big ask. That's not nearly as easy as it may sound. You know, we've seen Calcus on 15-lap-old hards starting to struggle. So what's it going to be like a medium pilot is on 13-lap-old mediums. This is not over yet. And Rafa's still in DRS, and look how late on the brakes into turn 1 he is. That is really helping him stay within that second he needs. This is a big waiting game.
Calcus must be out of tires. There's no other explain for that big drop.
Exactly. It must be.
But medium pilot's tires are the only question here. Are they going to make till the end? Lucky 2 sets the fastest lap for P8, 28.6. So that's impossible task even for the leaders with the DRS. So
yeah. I don't think that was worth it though, to be honest. He's going to score 5 points instead of scoring 6 points, Key 2. So I don't think that's actually really worked out for him taking that extra point. Yeah, don't really know why I did that. Looking at the ERS, they're still pretty close, these two. At the front, the gap's going out more and more now. But listen, this could all fall apart in the final lap still. You just never know how he's going to do medium pilot on these tires. Let's see, I thought it was pitting there for a second, not going to lie. I was about to lose it. But once again, let's ride on board Rafa. Let's see how late he breaks into his first turn. It's just ridiculous. He still pretty much hits the apex as well. I don't know how he's doing that. It's just... Oh man, maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know, but I don't think you should be able to do that. Now Drez into the pits. He's going to go on the sauce as well. Now he may be ahead of Lakitu. So this could make Lakitu's strategy look even worse. And he may have a chance of passing Jano on the last couple of laps. This could be how you do this strategy properly. Don't lose the place and gain the point. So will Drez do this properly? Let's wait and see. He saved DRS up for it. Rafa's got marginally more ERS, but I think he's made a mistake. Something's gone wrong there in turn 10 because he's just lost about half a second. He's possibly lost the race right there. I don't know what caused Rafa to lose that time. I assume he's went wide. Or maybe just broken too deep.
He's staying
But I
on
think-
hot lap. He's not saving, he's staying on hot lap, so...
Well, he's, like I say, he's made a mistake.
Yeah. But now on the straight, he has no chance to use any ERS. And medium pilot, he either has no chance. But Calkers again has 25%, but he's already dropped 4 seconds from Rafa. So...
Ooh. Wayne is right on the back of his teammate here. This is for P4 in the race. 2 laps for these guys to sort it out. Wayne, who fell off so much at the end of the first stint, finally onto the back of his teammate and trying to now get past. Oh no, medium pilot's off. Has his tyres gone? Well, I said it could happen, and he's bottled the race.
And did I say that Rafa is going to win today? Of course, medium pilot had something. And there goes Wayne.
Wayne for the podium now, which is all of a sudden a big possibility as medium pilot. I don't think he's got a puncture. I just think the tyres have gone on him. I said it would be a really big task to do first, and he was pushing all the way, and it's gone with just 2 to go. What a disaster class there for medium pilot. A huge shame.
He has no chance to make a fastest lap either, because if he pits this lap, he starts lap 29 in the pit lane. So
exactly.
He can't start the fastest lap. So if he had made that mistake 1 lap earlier, he has got 11 points.
Ah, well, that's what happens when you feel the pressure. I mean, he had just got away as well. He had just broken DRS. He didn't have to push as hard. And sometimes, honestly, if you start to lay off a little bit on the pushing, maybe he did stop pushing a bit. He could well have tried it, and if you do that, you could actually make a mistake happen because you're not trying as hard. It can break your rhythm, and I wonder if that's what happened to medium pilot. He just broke his rhythm for a second, and it's gone wrong. Wayne on the final lap, passing his teammate round the outside into turn 1, but Beast is still in it. I tell you what, these two can still come together. Medium pilot can still be in the podium positions here. Andres passing into P6 on Janel as well. That's how you do fastest lap properly, if he does get the fast lap, of course. Round the outside goes Speedster, keeping that P3. And Wayne, a massive slide, just like we saw him have earlier. And medium pilot's losing just buckets of time. The tyres are absolutely melted on him.
I think those tyres are 80%. He's just trying to make sure he don't get the puncher. And there goes Drez.
There's more defense there from Drez. And he's having to defend some more as Janel goes down the outside again. Drez does not have the fastest lap, by the way, so it's not really working there for him. But, well.
But Janel has 9 seconds of penalties, or 6 at least. So.
Oh, look at. Oh! They've hit! The 2 Alfa Romeos come together!
And medium pilot has sown the yellow flag, but he's not pushing.
Way too far away. He gave up. His tyres are just gone. He can't catch them, but the 2 Alfa Romeos.
Oh, he has puncher!
That could be what caused it.
Speedtas has a rear left puncher, and medium pilot is going to take P4.
Rafa wins. Rafa wins in round 2. Calkers P2. Wayne should be on the podium. Will he puncture as well? Looks like he's alright. It just seemed really weird. They just both spun at the same time. It looks like Speedster, that puncture, has
I think they collided. They collided.
There's absolutely no, that cannot be from a collision. No way. I've never seen a puncture on the rear left like that, which hasn't been through pure tyre wear and nothing else. 19 laps on the tyres. He didn't make them last.
Oh, there goes, and General find the wall in the last corner.
Well, he did find the wall in the end.
That he had not found the wall yet, but he done it in the last corner.
I'm gonna. Oh, we had a puncture.
Ah, that's why. That explains everything.
Puncture. I think anyway. Looked like a real left puncture.
That's the end of the race.
I'm gonna save this and see what happened to Speedster there, just to be sure. I'm pretty sure Speedster didn't collide.
Actually, my television on the left is going to be shut down within 1 minute, so that was a perfect ending for the race.
I'm pretty sure Speedster had a puncture and he spun into.
Look at that tire. The tire is so worn, even for the Rafa.
I'm gonna have a look at this.
But lucky too. My strategy was perfect and had Channel on penalties all along. No need to say I didn't do it properly. I don't know. I'm not a judgy man, so I don't make the plans for you.
I'm gonna tell you if Speedster had this accident because of a puncture or because of a collision causing a puncture. And yeah, that Speedster spun on his own and tagged the rear of Wayne. So that was caused by the puncture, I think.
Yeah,
so
that is very dramatic race.
Yeah, crazy finishing. Last 2 laps there, we saw Medium Pilot lose the lead, and then Speedster lose the podium as well at the very end. And at the end of it all, Rafa takes the win from Calker's way. Medium Pilot, Speedster, Drez, Lakitu, Kiski, Janel, Lormans, Samu, Kornup, and Salin.
Yeah, very dramatic race today, and next week in China, hopefully we see something, some kind of, how it is said. Hopefully we see some kind of same stuff next week, in China.
Fingers crossed, yeah. It's a very good race. Hopefully we get, as you say, the same. And I should be there for that one. No reason I wouldn't be there, I guess. So I'm looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, hopefully we see it next week. And well, thanks for watching the live stream. And China next week, at least I should be. I have nothing to do else with the school, so well, I think the schools are starting for everyone at least now, this week or next week if it's not starting this week or on Monday. So
got 3 weeks. I've got 3 weeks.
I got only like 3 hours of free time remaining. So
oh wow. Oh well.
Well, but we are going to end this live stream now. Thanks for watching and see you next week. Bye.